The global coronavirus pandemic is accelerating with over 9 million cases. There's been a resurgence of cases in the US, with a number of states seeing a spike. Earlier, I spoke to Kun Noparat Chaitale Mongkon, international multimedia journalist of VOA Thai, who gave us an outlook on the situation.
Kun Noparat, thank you very much for joining us. As the US eases lockdowns and travel restrictions, we see a spike in new COVID cases. So what's the situation up there at the moment, and how are local governments handling the situation?
Well, many states are in the process of loosening restrictions put in place to stop the spread of the virus, despite infection spikes in about half of the US states. Many have been moving at different paces to lift their control and prevention measures for many businesses, but many, including restaurants, have been allowed to reopen already, although indoor service is mostly unavailable at this point. The same case for spa and salon businesses. According to Johns Hopkins University, as of Tuesday night in the US, there are currently more than 2,340,000 cases of infection, while over 121,000 people have died from COVID-related illnesses here. Overall, the US is still leading the world in both categories by far. Meanwhile, the Infectious Diseases Society of America said that it is now deeply concerned by reports that the White House is considering a significant reduction in the part that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, plays in the fight against COVID-19. The society also stressed that what is urgently needed now is the CDC leadership in establishing guidelines and guidance to stop the further spread of the coronavirus.
So how are the health officials actually urging people to protect themselves right now, as I believe that wearing face masks are not obligatory across the country? Is that right?
Yeah, well, since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, health officials have first advised people to avoid any large gatherings to cut down on the spread of the virus, while there continues to be calls for the public to maintain such practices as wearing masks, washing hands, and keeping the social distance. However, after the lifting of the stay-at-home order and the easing of many measures, a lot of people have become more at ease about the situation around them. And guidance and policies at federal, state, and local government offices can be different from places to places. Some states appear to be against wearing masks, and some local government offices made it mandatory to wear masks when indoor. One distinctive development I can share is in the state of California, where the Department of Health announced last Thursday that roughly 40 million residents of California must now cover their faces in what they call most settings outside the home, after it reported record high new coronavirus infections. And generally, Dr. Anthony Fauci said that progress in the US against COVID-19 has been what he called a mixed bag across the country, with new cases falling in and around New York City, an early epidemic center, while there has been a disturbing surge in such states as Texas, Arizona, and Florida. While we are not sure what these states will be doing, Dr. Fauci said that they might not need to shut down again like many did in March. That's according to a CNBC report. He also suggested that instead, such states with what he called a serious problem might need to reconsider delaying or rolling back stages of reopening.
So they could actually reverse the reopenings at this point. Now, what about Thais in affected states? Did you have an opportunity to speak to any one of them? How they're coping? Are they receiving enough assistance from the local governments?
Well, I can share with you now that according to data from the Royal Thai Embassy in Washington, D.C., 25 Thais have been infected with COVID-19 so far, and sadly, 13 of them have died. Most cases from the state of New York. We have certainly spoken with many Thais in various states, and many of them said that they have been safe, and some of them even said that they have not seen any infections around them. And we also spoke with a few people in California, in Georgia, in Florida, and we were told that people there have been quite relaxed, and many have been going out and about without wearing masks, except for those who are indoor or the tourists, or have to say Asian Americans and Asian residents in their respective states. And everyone said that they continue to be aware about the situation and try to protect themselves, while our source in California shared with us one piece of information. He is a business owner, and he said that many Thais who are working as wage earners in service sector wouldn't want to come back to work because they are afraid. They fear about contracting the virus.
Right, Kunop, thank you very much for providing us with an update today. You stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.